Right, welcome back, listeners, and there's two of us on deck this week. Last week there's only one of us, it was me, and good to have you back, Money Shot, after getting a bit damp at Taranaki last Saturday night, did you?
Yeah, it wasn't the best conditions for Test match rugby, to be fair to say, Neil. And obviously the rain in Wanganui started at about 4 o'clock in the morning, didn't let up to about 1:30 in the afternoon, so that really put a dampener on proceedings. I think I must be a jinx. The last 3 Central Districts meetings I've intended to go to have all been abandoned. Wellington, Opunake, Wanganui.
Oh, they should pay you to stay at home then. Crikey, Vic. Be a good investment.
I'd make some good money, wouldn't I?
Too right, yeah. Just sit on your backside watching TV. Anyway, wise men say we were both keen on him last week, and he was just too good, wasn't he?
Best stayer in the race won, and yeah, in the very testing conditions, set a new record for the slowest ever edition of the Great Northern by some 20-something seconds. But yeah, those Yemenman Vitals and the Raymond Connors polish certainly is a lethal combination when it comes to that 4-mile race. And he was too good, and CD got the double with Zedi Dudadika winning the hurdles as well.
It was great. Good tough wins, but in my eye, it's good to watch, but I backed wise men say, but you can't back with confidence on tracks like that, can you? Anyway, we enjoy it for what it is, and it was a good day of racing. I enjoyed it anyway. And Bonnie Vale over at the Valley last week, didn't she look good winning?
Amazing. All the stable confidence was around the other runner, Lizzie Lamour, and Bonnie Vale comes out and blows them off the racecourse. Yeah. And no doubt her odds for the Melbourne Cup would have shortened following that run, and who's to say she couldn't walk away with the big one come the first Tuesday of November.
Too right, yeah, I can certainly see that. And we'll touch on the NRL finals from last week and what you like for this week, but just briefly, I've been really enjoying those games. You've been enjoying them too?
To be honest, I only saw one of them last week, just with other commitments, and that was the game on Sunday, and the Cowboys came. Yeah. They came from absolute nowhere to get over the top of the Sharks. So the good thing is all 4 games were very competitive and close.
Yep.
I don't know if they'll be the same this week, but yeah, they certainly lift a notch, and the intensity and everything, the speed of the game certainly lifts a notch when it comes to finals.
Yeah,
football, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this week's games. I haven't followed it that closely this year, but I'm looking forward to see how you think they'll play out.
It's a bit harder when the Warriors aren't playing, isn't it, Neil? Whoever the Warriors are playing will back them.
Yeah, oh, crikey. Don't mention that name again. Right, and just a brief note on the Greyhound sectionals. We posted this week that we're giving out all the Greyhound sectionals of every Greyhound that races at every track since mid-July on the website, the ratings website. So have a look on there. They're free right through until the end of this month, and had a lot of good feedback on those, and hopefully they help punters work out some good bets and avoid some losers. But that's a big plus for punters, I feel. Okay, back with part 2 in a moment with a couple of previews on 2 nice races where we've got some hot favourites, and are we going to pop them or not? That's what we'll find out in a sec.
The 2 big meetings in the country tomorrow, of course, are at Ruakaka and Awapuni. And the race formerly known as the Merial Metric Mile, now the Boehringer Ingelheim Metric Mile. Race 7 on the card at Awapuni is the main feature. We've got a $2.10 favourite in Francoletta, Neil, very impressive, fresh up at Hawke's Bay. She's only been beaten once in her career. Bit different though on a heavy 10 up against the big boys and girls like Here's Tomorrow, I would have thought.
Exactly, and that is the question for me. She's a good tough mare, we know that. Her win fresh up was gifted to her. They went pretty slow up front and came home in the fastest last 600 metres, and she had a weight advantage over Barry's horse, and I thought, well, she had to win that race. So you can look at it 2 ways. It was a soft win, and she steps up and just after an easy gallop, or it may have taken, it wasn't a too impressive win, but we know she's pretty good. So, but at $2.10, gee, you couldn't back it at that price, could you? On a heavy track, would you?
No. She'll pay more on the tote.
You think so? Yeah. Dulceto's got to be the one, I thought. Even though he's up, we've got him.
He's the rising star throughout the winter, really, Dulceto. I mean, he's won 4 in a row. We said he'd win last start at Taranaki, and he was too good, beating Longchamp. Up to the mile now. He'd be rock hard fit, so you'd think Dulceto's better value at 360 than Francoletta at 210, that's for sure. One on the course too, so that's another positive.
I've got a lot of respect for Sylvia Kay too. She's a good trainer, and that horse will be rock hard fit, like you say. And I thought 350, 360 now is good money. I suggest backing Dulceto and backing Francoletta closer to the start. So for the pick 6, I've got to take those two for our syndicate. But maybe a nice, I've got to toss up with, I'll put in Slimline. Her 2 trial wins have been really good. I really liked her last trial win, and she goes well here. She's drawn nicely, 53 kgs. If there's one that could upset them, it could be her. But I can't see anything outside those 3 winning, can you?
Never say never. I mean, there's some classy performers there, but I'll leave you to make those decisions, Neil. I don't want to influence you on your pick 6 spend. Well, what about at Ruakaka? We should focus on there the big Northland Breeders race, which is race number 6, and Prom Queen, $1.45 favourite. How impressive last time, over the 1,000, and surely nothing in this field, even with those good ones up the top of the page, Felton Road, Aim Smart. I'd say should be too quick for them still over the 1,200, you would have thought. Yeah,
you'd think so. He had, 34.5 second last start win there, last 600 metre sectional. Was 3 lengths quicker than Brighton's in the open handicap. Granted, it was a longer race by 200 metres, but she carried 58.5 kgs and just killed them, didn't she? And she did it easily in the end. So you'd think, and also right back with part 3, and I enjoyed my time watching those finals last week in the NRL. And Money Shot, you're a keen stats man. I know you've got an interesting stats for us on this weekend's game.
Yeah, so week 2, Neil, of the NRL playoffs, it's always 2 teams that have lost in round 1 playing 2 teams that have won in round 1 of the playoffs. So the 2 top 4 teams that didn't manage to win their games go against the winners of the 5 through 8 games. And the last 3 years, so the last 6 of these games, all 6 have been won by teams who have lost in round 1. So the top 4 teams no one's gone out and bang and out of the comp by losing their first 2 playoff games since I think it was Manly 3 or 4 years ago. So I think that trend will continue, and Brisbane should win, Parramatta should win. Of the 2 games, the one I'd be more confident in would be Parramatta to cover the start. I think it's now out to 8.5, I think, their start. I think they might just run away from the Cowboys, who certainly battled into the finals and then found a way to get over the Sharks. I don't think the Sharks were playing that good a football, really, so that might have flattered the Cowboys a little bit. And I think the Eels, they went toe-to-toe with the Storm for a good 70-odd minutes. That's pretty good form, and I think they'll be too strong. The Cowboys' gallant season will come to an end. Decimated through their chances really through the injuries to key players like Thurston, Matt Scott and co, and I think the Eels will get over the top. So that's probably your best league bet in my opinion in the 2 playoff games. You've got the option number there. Have you, Neil? Option
2202, number 5, Parramatta minus 8.5. I agree 100%. After seeing both those teams last week, I think Parramatta will win easily. The test on Saturday, or the rugby on Saturday, anything keen on that?
Yeah, the All Blacks are copping a bit of heat. I must admit it wasn't the most enjoyable game of rugby I've ever sat through last week. I said I'm not going back to one of those bloody games in a hurry, and lo and behold, we're off again for a day out on Saturday night to Albany just for something different to do, Neil. So hopefully it'll be a better game, and hopefully the weather plays its part.
Yeah.
You'd argue that the All Blacks are named a stronger lineup than they did last Saturday. You'd argue South Africa are a far better team than Argentina, and so is the 18-point start fair, given that we beat Argentina by 17? I'd probably have to suggest South Africa plus 18.5 is the way to go, Neil, if you're wanting to have a bet on the game.
That's a big call.
Yeah, I just get that feeling that they'll teams might have worked out the All Blacks a bit. The Lions worked them out. Argentina certainly that rush defence.
Yeah.
So South Africa not a bad team. They might score a few more points than Argentina. So South Africa plus 18.5 if you're wanting to have a bet. And I know most people like to have a bet, but don't always like to have a bet against the All Blacks. But I think that could be the way to go on Saturday night. And then you've got Aussie and Argentina to follow that at Canberra. That'll be an interesting game if you like watching those two teams go around, but I don't think I'll bother with that.
Yeah. No.
ITM Cup still going. ITM Cup, Mitre 10 Cup, get my sponsor right. The Mitre 10 Cup still going, basically nearing the halfway stage. All the games look, pretty hard to find any value in those games. I think a few of them, other than the Otago game, where I can guarantee you there will be no rain due to the roof, I think every other game I expect to see rain. So that's always a bit of a worry, looking at the forecasts for the various cities and towns. So we might just stay out of those as well for this week.
Okay. No, it's going by what you've said. I'm going to take a nice multi with probably Brighton in the first race, with the North Queensland or the Eels start into that All Black, just for an interest, with the South Africa getting an 18.5 point start, just for give me an interest. I'll finish all the races.
And then when Brighton doesn't win, you'll reload onto something else.
Oh, probably. Go really in the first race.
As you do with multis, yeah. It's always the reload factor.
Yep.
It's all heating up. The league's obviously hard to see anyone beating the Storm, but it's going to be these next 2 weeks after this week will be very interesting, I'm sure.
Okay, back with part 4 in a moment, and I know Money Shot, you've got an interesting brickbat too that I agree with 100%. Right, Money Shot, I know you've got an interesting brickbat that I hope does get instigated one day. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, obviously it was highlighted by Ellersly's track conditions last week. So we have various categories of tracks, I think starting at a fast 1 to a good 2, good 3, dead 4, dead 5, dead 6, slow 7, slow 8, slow 9, heavy 10 and heavy 11, and that's where it stops. Now, if you look at heavy 11 track conditions, you might see a heavy 11 where the horses run 1:17 for 1,200 metres, maybe 1:16, and then you see heavy 11s at Ellersly, as it was listed, where they might run 1:29 for 1,200 metres. So 12, 13 second differential effectively on the same track rating. We all know that wasn't a heavy 11 on Saturday. It was probably, in reality, a heavy 16, a heavy 17, something like that. So why not call it that? Why stop by only having 2 ratings for the heavies tracks? Fairer to trainers. I had a trainer say to me today, if they had known that the track was that bad, they wouldn't have run their horse. So I guess that affects trainers and owners, and also fairer to punters. Sure, it's probably going to mean more horses scratch, less punters bet, but at least it's been upfront and honest with all concerned, and surely that has to be the long-term plan rather than the short-term thinking of, if we just leave it as 11, then less horses will scratch and more punters might bet. I think you got to look at the bigger picture. Yep. And we need to have more ratings in that heavy bracket, so it's a true reflection. You agree?
Oh, 100%, yeah. And I've even been speaking to David on the Form Pro rating side about this, and we've been discussing about having a rating after the meeting, like a heavy 15 or whatever, plus L for loose and H for holding, plus inside-outside bias, plus on-pace or off-pace bias, plus an estimated time for 1,200 metres if there was no 1,200 metre race on the day. And wouldn't take me much to just do that for every meeting, and to give punters information that you can quickly say, oh yep, okay, we know it was they were coming down the outside, or it was loose or heavy, or I don't know, but yeah, just heavy 10, heavy 11s is a joke really for our country. Different from Australia, aren't we? You know, we get so many more heavy tracks here.
You'd have to wonder what the Australians thought watching those races at Ellerslie on Saturday.
It was embarrassing really, but anyway, it is what it is, and it needs to be sorted out, but not good enough. Okay, I've got no brickbats or bouquets, but I will for next week. I'll try and write a few things down, but nothing this week. Now, this week's multi-question. Lee last week missed out with Rafa Ferrasho and Wise Men Say.
That was a strange run. I think he just mixed a couple of jumps down the back. At the 1,200, you thought he was moving into the race. It was definitely going to be a big Razor Fuasho, and then if you notice the last 50 metres, I don't think any horse was finishing faster.
That's right, yeah, it was strange.
It was a funny run, just the way you lose momentum on that track and you really do suffer, but yeah, close but no cigar for Lee.
Yep. Okay, what's the question for this week?
So to win this week's multi, you need to answer this question, and we'll make it pretty simple. The feature race is the Northland Breeders' 3-year-old race at Ruakaka. 2 horses in the last 4 or 5 years have won this race, who are now both standing at stud in New Zealand. We just need you to name one of those horses. So it's pretty easy. There's 2 possible answers. You only need to give us one. Of a horse that won the Northland Breeders and is now standing at stud in New Zealand. Get those answers to Neil via text or email. By what time tonight, Neil? What time are you hitting the hay tonight?
Oh, they make it 9 p.m. You never know. Yeah, 9 p.m. 027 352 6402 or formpro@formpro.co.nz. Yeah, I want a good night's sleep so I can wake up fresh, refreshed, come hard at that pick 6 tomorrow. So, yep. Looking forward to that.
Pick 6 close off is what time?
Tonight, midnight. And
midnight?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll post a bet about 15 minutes before the first leg. And there may be 2 bets depending on how the track's playing at Ruakaka. If it does get wet there, it can bring a couple of horses into it. But anyway, look forward to that. And next week we've got Hastings, as I mentioned before. Good track. So you're going over?
Yeah. Just for a change, we'll go down to Hastings and catch quite convenient Taranaki playing Hawke's Bay that night at McLean Park. So could probably do the double. And something else is on next Saturday too, Neil, from memory. What would that be?
Next Saturday?
Oh yeah, that thing. What's that thing? The election. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't forget to vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain.
Yeah, and if you're a betting man, gee, what would you back?
Well, there's markets open in Australia. National moved from $2.10 into about $1.70 on the back of the earlier poll result earlier in the week. I actually haven't checked since then, but it's going to be a fascinating race, isn't it, between the 2 of them?
Yeah, I see those polls though. They said were 1,000 people rung on their landline, so we can just ignore that.
Who has a landline these days?
That's right. Well, about 19%, I think they mentioned. Anyway, no, I think I like Winston Peters' racing policy. I couldn't find Nationals or Labours, so if you're in the racing industry, you'd probably end up voting for him. He pees you off sometimes, but at least he's got a policy. That'll be interesting time, all right?
Yeah, get out there and vote. Whoever you're voting for, at least vote. Though some people say the more people that vote, the more it encourages them. But no, you have to. We've got this democratic right given to us, so we need to make sure we do the right thing. Yeah. What else in the week ahead, Neil? Don't know what else we could talk about.
No, it's been a pretty quiet week. Just on the election, my three daughters, they're all keen to vote this time. They've been chatting about it and discussing it, and which is good to see. So I think Jacinda's sort of got people interested. I don't know if they'll vote for her or not, but at least it gets them thinking about their policies. So.
She's certainly got her teeth into that role anyway, that's for sure.
She sure has, yeah. Okay, well, nothing else. So looking forward to a good weekend of racing, and that pick 6, I'm actually quite looking forward to giving that a good...
I think you're due for a big pick 6 collect, Neil.
Yeah,
So.
I think the last one we got was when BT won at Te Rapa.
Oh, yeah, I remember that day.
A year ago.
Well, that's one thing we haven't touched on is the futures are out for Riccarton, the 4 races. We touched on Aim Smart being the favourite in the Guineas, but the Cup, the Coupland's Mile, the 1,000 Guineas, all those markets are out. Any value, early value, just perusing those, Neil?
I haven't had a great look, but the Christchurch Casino New Zealand Cup.
What about Snow Secret? BT Junior, $14, fourth favourite, unproven at higher level. Snow Secret,
you're just trying to talk the price.
Fourth in the Wellington Cup, unlucky at that, $26. I think the bookies must have the Ritchie runners around the wrong way.
I think they might have, unless you want to get the price up on BT.
Well, he'll run next, I think, in the Egmont Cup for what it's worth, if people are interested, at Hara on the 14th of October, and then head to Christchurch, all things being equal. But I would have thought Snow Secret had a bit more class than BT, so I was surprised to see her at nearly double his odds.
Yeah, he was stiff, or she, Snow Secret, Mia, isn't it? I think she was stiff in the Wellington Cup, wasn't she?
Fifth was it? I thought it was fourth, something like that, but unlucky.
Yeah, she was.
So I thought that was a bit of value, definitely going for the race, so I was surprised to see her at a much longer quote than the stablemate.
Yeah.
Few Australians nominated, hard to know whether they'll come over. You wouldn't really want to risk backing any of them. History says they probably won't. Tom Queen, we talked about her at the mile. I was quite surprised. She's into 9. I think she was 10 or 12 when it opened. So there's been money for her already. What about Florence Jean? Do you like her?
Yeah, she's a nice. She was a good 2-year-old, wasn't she? So what, $10? Couldn't back her at $10 now. Belgian Nord, I think $8 is the favourite, but I do like her. She's a good mare. Good sectionals last campaign. I think she comes up, should be hard. Nothing of value. Nothing else you like?
Not really. No. The market for next Saturday's Windsor Park Plate. Just while we're on that page, you got Ginger Nuts and Cowie equal favourites. Gold Pay Veloce $6. She'd certainly appreciate the better track conditions, that's for sure.
Too right, and I think she just didn't handle that track last start. 3 heavy trackers won. I couldn't back Ginger Nuts at 450 second up. But Cowie and Volpe Veloce stand out to me, I think. Come down to the draws.
We better mention one other average sort of horse running around tomorrow as well, and he'll be remiss of us not to mention, what's the name of that horse? Winks, is it?
Oh, she's not a bad mare, is she? No, she $1.09 again, I see. And she should win again.
It's amazing the non-racing sporting interest in her. I think Chris Waller was on Radio Sport. Not often Radio Sport give any airtime to racing these days, and we had an interview with him yesterday. So that's the appeal a champion horse like her brings to a much wider audience than just the traditional racing audience, and people obviously are interested in her and her winning streak and the way she does it, and just so easily and effortlessly too.
Just amazing, that last one, wasn't it? You think, oh, maybe this is the day, but no, it just unwound and bang. I'm supposed to be a thrill riding her, right? Hugh Bowman, what a thrill to ride a champion mare like that and getting well paid for it.
Be like driving your BMW, Neil, just all full power and...
Yeah, it's going to pay for the petrol, that's all. Anyway, hopefully we'll have a good punt tomorrow and get that pick 6 and all set, get our bank accounts full for next week for Hastings. So everyone, happy punting. And anything else you want to say, Money Shot, before we sign off?
No. Good luck to all the punters.
Yep, too right. Have a good week.